Welcome to the Explainer. If you've ever wanted to dip your toes into fine woodworking, this project is the perfect place to start. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to turn just 2 boards of cherry wood into this absolutely beautiful modern magazine rack.
And here it is. Let's just jump right in and look at the finished product. This rack, it's got this wonderfully airy, modern feel to it, but it's built with all the quality of real, solid furniture. And you know the best part? This is a project you can absolutely build yourself.
So here's our roadmap for the build. We're going to break it down into 5 simple stages. We'll kick things off with the blueprint and materials, move on to cutting and shaping, and then the grand finale, assembly and finishing. Let's get to it. Okay, first up, the project blueprint. Before we even think about making any sawdust, let's take a look at the key specifications to really understand what we're building here. Looking at the vital stats, the first thing that jumps out is the size. It's super compact, just 14 inches high by 12 inches wide. I mean, it's designed to fit just about anywhere. It's all solid cherry, and it uses these really strong hidden dowel joints, and that's what gives it that clean, seamless look.
All right, now that we know what we're making, let's talk about what you'll need to make it. This next section covers all the gear you'll want to have on hand before you make that very first cut.
And you know what's so great about this project? The shopping list is incredibly simple. Seriously, you're basically working with just 2 boards of cherry wood. One is 3/4 of an inch thick, and the other is 1/2 inch thick. That's pretty much the heart of the entire thing. Tool-wise, you'll need some standard woodworking stuff, like a table saw and a router. But the real hero of this build? That's going to be your jigsaw or a bandsaw. That's the tool that's going to let you cut those really elegant curves that give this rack its signature style. And in terms of time, you should probably plan for about 8 to 15 hours for the whole shebang, and that's everything from prepping the wood all the way to putting on that final satisfying coat of finish. Okay, enough planning. Let's head out to the workshop and see how this raw lumber gets transformed into the core parts of our magazine rack. I love this exploded view. It makes everything so clear. The design is just brilliantly simple. There are really only 3 types of parts to cut. You've got the 2 curved sides, which are part A, 10 slots, part B, which also cleverly double as the handle, and then the single bottom piece, part C. All right, this next stage is where the magic really happens. We're going to take those flat boards and give them their shape, cutting the curves that define the rack's look and drilling all the holes for a totally seamless assembly. Now this right here, this is the key to the whole project. See this grid? Each one of those little squares is a 1-inch guide. This drawing basically becomes your master template. It lays out everything perfectly, both the elegant curves of the side panel and the exact spots to drill for every single dowel. And getting those sides just right is a really straightforward 3-step dance. First, you trace the template onto your wood. Second, you use a sharp awl to mark the center of each dowel hole. And third, you cut out the shape. It's really that simple. Trace, mark, and cut. And this shows that process in action perfectly. On the left, you can see the template being traced super carefully. And then on the right, there's the jigsaw doing its thing, making sure to stay just on the waist side of the line so you can sand it smooth later. Okay, for the joints to fit together perfectly, this part is crucial. You've got to drill 1/4-inch diameter holes that are exactly 1/2 an inch deep at every point you marked. That precision is what makes for a tight, strong fit. And here's a pro tip. A tool called a doweling jig is going to be your best friend here. It guides the drill bit to make sure every hole is perfectly straight and at the right depth. And now for the best part. This is the final and, honestly, the most rewarding phase of the whole project. It's where all those carefully crafted pieces finally come together and become the thing you envisioned. So we're back to this exploded view, and for a really good reason. It shows exactly how the slots, the bottom, and the handle all join up to the sides with a little bit of glue and those perfectly placed dowels. This method gives you an incredibly strong, completely invisible bond. Finally, it's time for the finishing touch, and you've actually got a choice here. You can apply a clear coat, something like Danish oil, which will protect it and make that beautiful grain just pop. Or, and this is a really cool option, you can leave it completely unfinished and just let that beautiful cherry wood age and darken naturally all on its own. And there you have it. Just think, from just 2 boards and a handful of well-planned steps, you've created a functional, beautiful piece of furniture that's going to last for years and years. So I guess that leaves just one last question, right? Now that you've seen how it's made from start to finish,
What stories, or magazines, or maybe even vinyl records are you going to give a new home to?